I believe that every human being has two sides to his nature, the good and the evil.
If he be Mr. Hyde, I shall be Mr. C.
Mr. Utterson, the lawyer, was a man of a rugged countenance that was never lighted by a smile. Yet he had an approved tolerance for others, sometimes wondering, almost with envy, at the high pressure of spirits involved in their misdeeds, and in any extremity inclined to help rather than to reprove.
Right, camera rolling. Scene 11, take 1, and action.
Yes.
One, two, three, away.
Yeah, made a mess of the last line.
Indeed. Utterson, for God's sake.
And action.
Yes, this is Mr. Hyde's residence, but he's not at home right now. He came in last night very late. Oh, for fuck's sake, sorry.
Thanks.
This is why I keep my eyes closed.
Oh, he's in trouble. What's he done?
There again, I just knocked.
Cut. Scene 1, take 1, and action.
So we all set off. The child's father, or our friend.
So cut, and action. Oh, fuck it.
And I was coming home one dark winter morning from some place at the end of the world, about 3 o'clock of the morning, and my way lay through a part of town that... Oh, fuck it, I can't.
And cut.
An honest man paying for the capers of his youth. Blackmail house is what I call that house with a door. Oh, bollocks. Sorry.
And cut.
Just lost literally nothing but lights. Street after street, all lit up as if in a procession. All as empty as a church. Oh. Okay, sorry. Did you ever remark that door? It is connected in my mind with a very odd story. I was making my way home from some place at the end of the earth at 3 o'clock one black winter morning, through a part of town where there was literally nothing but lights. Street after street all lit up as if in a procession, and all as empty as a church. And all of a sudden I saw 2 figures. The 2 ran into one another naturally enough at the corner. And then came the horrible part of the thing. It wasn't like a man, it was more like a damn juggernaut.
I want to ask the name of that man who walked over the child.
I can't see what harm it would do. It was a man by the name of Hyde. Mr. Hyde, I think? I can't describe him, but I have been pedantically exact as you call it. Let's make a bargain never to refer to this again.
With all my heart, I shake hands on that, Richard.
Oh, that's the end of that story. You won't be seeing any more of Mr. Hyde.
Did I tell you I saw him once? Shared your feelings of revulsion?
Why, it's impossible to do one without the other.
God forgive us.
I gave one look. So I brought out the sweat on me like running. There was one curious circumstance. I had taken a loathing to my gentleman at first sight. Killing being out of the question, we did the next best thing. We screwed him up to £100 for the child's family. Went in. Presently came back with a matter of £10 in gold and a cheque for the balance. Signed with a name that I cannot mention. It's one of the points of my story.
What sort of a man is he to see?
Isn't it very difficult? Oh,
And cut.
If I do not ask you the name of the other party, it is because I know it already. You see, Richard, your story has gone home.
my dear sir, I have been pedantically exact as you. Sorry. It's all right, don't say sorry to me.
And cut.
Well, sir, 2 ran into one another naturally enough at the corner. And then came the horrible part of the thing, for the man trampled over the child's body and left her screaming on the ground. Well, it sounds nothing to hear, but it was hellish to see.
But there is one point. I want to ask you the name of that man who walked over the child.
It was a man by the name of Hyde.
And what sort of a man is he to see?
I can't describe him. It's not want of memory, for I declare I can see him this moment.
You see, Richard, your story has gone home. If you've been inexact in any particular, then you had better correct it.
But I have been pedantically exact as you call it. I saw him use it not a week ago. Let us make a bargain never to refer to this again.
With all my heart, I shake hands on that, Richard.
He does indeed, sir. Mr. Cat.
thought that was a signal. It was...
Cut.
We've come... Okay. Your hand is in a different place. Yeah. Well, you see, I can't focus on that because it's too close to me.
Yeah.
So I'm having to focus on the curve.
Good evening, Mr. Utterson, sir.
Good evening, Paul. Is Dr. Jekyll at home?
I will see Mr. Utterson. Mr. Utterson, there is something wrong, I'm afraid.
Now, my good man, be explicit. What are you afraid of?
I've been afraid for about a week, sir. And I can bear it no more. That thing in the mask was not Dr. Jekyll.
Surely...
Sir, do you not think I know Dr. Jekyll after 20 years? The thing in the mask was not Dr. Jekyll. Some murder has been committed. It was for one moment that I saw him, but the hairs on my head stood up like quills. Sir, if that was my master, why was he wearing a mask? If that was my master, why did he cry out like a rat and run for me? If that was my master, why did he run like a rat? Oh, shit. It was for about 1 minute that I... Oh, fuck it.
But it is plain and natural, hangs well together and delivers us from all
absorbent alarm. We'll pick it up from there. It's okay.
It was for one moment that I saw him, but the hair stood upon my... I'd stumble on that...
Hence, for aught I know, the... to break in that door.
Here is an axe. And you might... Oh, shit.
Cut.
I want you to postpone all other engagements.
Upon the reading of this letter, I made sure my colleague was insane. But till that was proved beyond the possibility of doubt, I felt bound to do as he requested. 12 o'clock had scarce rung out over London ere the knocker sounded very gently on the door. I went myself for the summons and found a small man crouching against the pillars of the portico. Are you from Dr. Jekyll? Oh, fuck it.
Cut.
Quiet up. Very good, thank you, sir. I won't need you any more today, Jasper. Dr. Lanyon will take me where I'm going, madam.
Yes, sir.
How do you do, Dr. Jekyll? How do you do?
Dr. Jekyll has gone out, sir.
I've seen Dr. Hyde go in through the old dissecting room. Is that...
Cut.
For we were by no means in the habit of correspondence. I had seen the man, dined with him indeed.
I suppose, Lanyon, that you and I must be the oldest friends that Henry Jekyll had.
I suppose we are. And what of it? I see very little of him now.
Did you ever come across a protege of his, one Hyde?
Hyde? No, never heard of him. Since my time. It is more than 10 years since Henry Jekyll became too fanciful for me. He went wrong. Wrong in mind. Such unscientific balderdash. On the 9th of January, now 4 days ago, I received by the evening delivery a registered envelope addressed in the hand of my colleague and old school companion, Henry Jekyll.
Are you from Dr. Jekyll?
I was a good deal surprised by this, for we were by no means in the habit of correspondence.
I never met a man so distressed as you were by my will.
And I could imagine nothing in our intercourse that should justify formality of registration.
For that hidebound pedant Lanyon. What he called my scientific heresies.
The contents increased my wonder. Upon the reading of this letter, I made sure my colleague was insane. But till that was proved beyond the possibility of doubt, I felt bound to do as he requested.
You speak enigmas. I have gone too far down the path of inexplicable service to pause before I see.
What follows is under the seal of our profession. Now, behold.
Oh, God! I've had a shock, and I may never recover. Is there nothing I can do? It is a matter of weeks. Jekyll is ill too. Have you seen him? I wish to see and hear no more of Dr. Jekyll. Someday, Addison, you may perhaps learn the right and wrong of this. I cannot tell you.
I saw what I saw, I heard what I heard, and my soul sickened at it. The deadliest terror sits by me at all hours of the day and night, and I feel that my days are numbered, and that I must die. And yet I shall die incredulous. I will say but one thing, Utterson. The creature who crept into my house that night was, on Jekyll's own confession, known by the name of Hyde, and hunted for in every corner of the land as the murderer of Carew. Hasty Lanyon.
You speak enigmas. And you will not... Oh, fine.
And cut.
Start again. And you will perhaps not...
And cut.
I hear you, with no strong sense of belief. But I don't believe it.
Camera rolling. Scene 25. Take 1. Cut!
If ever I read Satan's signature upon a face, it is in that of your new friend.
Leave it there for a moment.
Yeah, made a mess of the last line.
And I want to be sure of what I'm doing. I haven't been...
Cut.
The best we can do is stay down here and speak with you from where we are.
That is just what I was about to venture to propose.
Give us the line.
Well, God forgive us.
Alex.
Now we need to be talked through the turn, really, because we were waiting for the window slam.
Right, we're still rolling.
Well, that's the end of that story. Won't be seeing any more of Mr. Hyde.
I hope not. What? Jekyll? I trust you are better.
I've had a shock.
God forgive us.
I may never recover. It is a matter of weeks.
Is there nothing I can do? Jekyll is ill too.
I wish to see and hear no more of Dr. Jekyll. I am quite done with that person.
I need to see Mr. Hudson at once. I don't care if he's busy, it's urgent. Mr. Utterson, there is something wrong, I'm afraid.
Be explicit. What are you afraid of? Mr. Hyde, I think. Mr. Utterson of Court Street. You must have heard of my name.
How did you know me?
My description?
Whose description?
We have common friends.
Common friends? Who are they?
Jekyll, for instance.
He did not tell you. I did not think you would have lied.
Come, that is not fitting language. And now, you have heard the news? Carew was my client, but sorry, and I want to know what I am doing. You've not been mad enough to hide this fellow?
I will never set eyes on him again.
Sad business about Sir Danvers?
Yes, sir, indeed. He has elicited a great deal of public figure. The man was, of course, mad.
I should like to hear your views on that. It's quite in your way. A murderer's autograph. I have seen Mr. Hyde going through the old dissecting room. Is that right? Dr. Jekyll is
Quite right, sir. Mr. Hyde does have a key.
Your master seems to repose a deal of trust in that young man.
Indeed it does, sir. We all have orders to obey him.
I don't think I ever met Mr. Hyde.
Oh dear, no, sir.
I'm afraid that's impossible. Quite out of the question.
I had better tell you who this person is. This is Inspector Newcomen of Scotland Yard.
Oh, he's in trouble. What's he done?
This is most irregular and unseemly. This is rather a wild tale, my man. I shall consider it my duty to break in that door.
Here's an axe.
I demand to see you!
Utterson, for God's sake, have mercy.
I promise. That is not Jekyll's voice. It is Hyde's. If you care to hear more, turn to the confession of your unworthy, unhappy friend, Henry Jekyll. If he be Mr. Hyde, I shall be Mr. Sick.
Action.
My address. Utterson, for God's sake. I can't do it. Good evening. Will you suffer me to go... Will you suffer me to go forth from your house without further parley? Or has the... fucking hell! This glass in my... Now to settle what remains. Will you suffer me to take this glass in my hand, and to go forth from your house without further parley? Or has the greed of curiosity too much command? As you decide, you shall be left as you were before, and neither richer nor wiser, unless the sense of service rendered to a man in mortal distress may be counted as a kind of richness of the soul. For, if you shall so prefer to choose any profits of knowledge, then new avenues to fame and power shall be laid open to you.
Sir, you speak enigmas. I hear you with no strong sense of belief. But I have gone too far down the path of inexplicable service to pause before I see the end.
It is well, Lanny, you remember your vow. What follows is under the seal of our profession. Now, you who have so long been bound to the most narrow of material views, you who have denied the virtue of transcendental medicine, you who have derided your superiors, eyes. Behold.
Mr. Hyde, I think.
That is my name. What do you want?
I was born to a large fortune, endowed besides with excellent parts, inclined by nature to industry, fond of the respect of the wise and good among my fellow men, with every guarantee of an honourable and distinguished future. And indeed the worst of my faults was a certain impatient gaiety of disposition. Hence it came about that I concealed my pleasures.
Yes.
And that when I reached years of reflection and began to look round me and take stock of my progress and position in the world, I stood already committed to a profound duplicity of life. Many a man would have even blazoned such irregularities as I was guilty of.
I can't pretend that I shall ever like him.
I don't ask that. I only ask you to help him, for my sake, when I'm no longer here.
But from the high views that I had set before me, I regarded and hid them with an almost morbid sense of shame. Man is not truly one, but truly two.
Good evening.
I say two, because the state of my own knowledge does not pass beyond that point. For my part, from the nature of my life, advanced infallibly, in one direction, and in one direction only. It was on the moral side, and in my own person, that I learned to recognize the thorough and primitive duality of man.
That is just what I was about to venture to propose.
Mr. Utterson asking to see you, sir.
Tell him I cannot see anyone.
the man trampled over the child's body and left her screaming on the ground. Well, it sounds nothing to hear, but it was hellish to see. It wasn't like a man, it was more like a damn juggernaut. Well, I took to my heels, collared my gentleman, and brought him back to where there was quite naturally a group about the screaming girl.
Much wider. Wide.
Can't.
Action. And cut.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
That was brilliant.
Ah!
When I would come back from these excursions, I was often plunged into a kind of wonder at my vicarious depravity.
Cut.
Oh, sorry, Punch. I'm sorry, sorry.
Action.
Ah! This is why I keep my eyes closed. Dick. That's why I kept my eyes closed. I know as soon as you looked at me, you made me laugh. Oh.
Cut.
I don't ask that. I only ask you to help him, for my sake, when I'm no longer here.
Cut.
Stay down here and speak with you from where we are.
That is just what I was about to venture to propose.
God forgive us.
What he told me in the next hour, I cannot bring my mind.
Yes.
If you be Mr. Hyde, I shall be Mr. Seek.
Finishing this statement under the influence of the last of the old powders. This, then, is the last time, short of a miracle, that Henry Jekyll can think his own thoughts or see his own face in the glass. Will Hyde die upon the scaffold? Or will he find courage to release himself at the last moment? God knows. I am careless. This is my true hour of death, and what is to follow concerns another than myself. Here then, as I lay down the pen and proceed to seal up my confession, I bring the life of that unhappy Henry Jekyll to an end.
I'm not even going to swat that fly. I hope they are watching. They'll see. They'll see and they'll know. And they'll say, why, she wouldn't even fly.